All right, it's time for Ryan's Roast. Dear Ryan and Sissany, a woman approached me in the parking lot at Ralph's recently. She walked up to me and said, your husband is cheating on you. I just figured you should know. At first, I was, that's random. I was confused. I told her she was confusing me with somebody else. Then she said my name, my husband's name, and even said our child's name. Then she walked away. I haven't told my husband. I'm still not convinced that he would ever do it. I found it almost impossible to believe. Who's this person?
Wow.
Let me get Brooke on the line in Downey. Brooke, good morning.
Hi.
Hi. So, thanks for coming on. We just read your email, but who is this random person that's beelining you at Ralph's? Do you have any idea who they are?
I have no idea. She just came up to me and she knew my name. That's I told her, I was like, you have to have me confused with someone else because my husband would never cheat on me. But she said my name, my husband's name. She mentioned our daughter. And then
so she knew your daughter's name. Yeah.
Wow. She knew my daughter's name.
And did you address it with, you did not. Okay. So this is so weird.
How's your marriage?
She's obviously good.
Great. I have no reason to doubt him, but you hear something like that and it's just haunting me.
Wow. It's either really generous or really destroying.
How's it generous?
Because she's trying to help her out.
Oh.
Or she's being generous by giving us information.
Okay. Yeah,
but she thinks the woman thinks she's being generous, or it's just detrimental. Brooke, how long have you been married?
About 8 years now.
Okay. Hold on one second. We're going to call your husband next and see if we can find out, all right? So we have Brooke on the line. Now, listen to this. She's leaving Rouse, fresh food, low prices, and a woman walks up to her and says, hey, your husband is cheating on you. I just think you should know. And she doesn't recognize the woman, but the woman knows her name and her kid's name. So the woman knows who she is.
Right.
So why I can't imagine somebody would just do that and make it up.
Did you try to get more information from her?
I froze. I did just freeze. I wanted to ask so much more, and she just left, and there was nothing I could do.
All right, well, here's the deal. We're going to offer him some roses. We're going to find out who he sends them to and what he puts on the card. Be very quiet until we tell him he's on the air, okay?
Okay.
So, Brooke, I need to say, Ryan, you have my permission to call, and then his name on Kiss FM.
Ryan, you have my permission to call on Kiss FM.
All right, here we go. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hi, is this Eric?
Yeah, this is Eric.
Hi, my name is Janelle. I'm calling from Kabloom. How you doing?
Doing all right. How about you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So we're a new flower shop here in Downey, right on Firestone near the Portos. You know where that is?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I'm trying to promote my business, and the reason why I'm calling you is I'm offering you a free dozen roses that you could send to anybody that you'd like. They're absolutely free. I don't need billing information, a credit card, cash. We just hope that you refer us to friends and family.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
It is. So I just need the name of the person you would like to send these flowers to.
Oh, yeah. I want to send them to my wife, Brooke.
Brooke. Okay. And what would you like to put on the card?
Can I have it say, free flowers, lucky day, love me, love Eric.
Oh, free flowers. You don't have to tell her that they're free, but okay.
Free
flowers, lucky day. Okay. Could you hold on 1 second, please?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I wasn't ready for that. What? Why are we
You
holding?
told me to hold. You told me if they send the flowers to their wife, then just to put them on hold.
All right, well, you caught me off guard.
What? What do you want to do?
I'm going to come in.
Well, no.
Eric. Eric,
yeah?
hello, it's Eric. It's Ryan Seacrest, and your voice is being broadcast on the radio. Good morning. How you doing?
Oh, doing all right. How about you?
I'm good. We're part of the flower thing campaign. I have your wife Brooke on the line, and she has given us your number to call you. Hi, Brooke.
Bye.
So, Eric, I'm going to just tell you the reason we're all on the phone together. A woman came up to her leaving Ralph's and said, she called her by name, she knew your kid's name, and she said that you are having an affair. You're cheating on your wife. What is this all about?
Wait, what? No, that's awful. I'm definitely not cheating on my wife. I would never do that.
Well, Brooke, explain what you heard from this person.
I'm so sorry. She came up to me and she said that you were cheating on me, and she knew my name and your name and our daughter's name, and I just got so scared. I didn't think you would do it, but I mean, she knew our names, so I didn't know what to think, and I was just really afraid to ask you.
Wait, what did she look like? Did she have short brown hair and glasses?
Yeah, like kind of tall.
What?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah, I know who that is. That's Rick's, my buddy Rick's ex-fiance. You remember Rick from my college bud?
Yeah.
He was engaged to this woman, and she cheated on him, so he broke off the engagement.
I remember that. I remember you telling me about that.
What does this
have
to do with you guys?
Well, she probably wants revenge on me, because what I did not tell you is that I was actually the one that told Rick that she was cheating on him.
So
and she obviously tried to deny it, but Rick knows I'd never lied to him, and Rick believed me and broke off the engagement then.
Wow.
Oh. Wow. I'm so sorry.
So this is all getting back at?
Yeah. I believe that's probably trying to get revenge on me because broke off the engagement. But honestly, I haven't heard from her in a while. But that's weird.
I totally believe it because I remember when this happened and I remember how messy it was. I completely believe it.
All right. Well, you guys take your perfect marriage. We're going to let you go. Thank you very much for reaching out.
Wait, Brooke, I'm bringing home some real flowers tonight. All right? I love you. I would never cheat on you, and I'd never do anything to hurt you. I'm so sorry.
I don't know whether to be happy or sick.
Wait, I'm so happy. That almost made me cry.
Thank you. All right.
All right, guys. Happy marriage. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
All
right. Well,
that's sweet. Don't tell me you don't believe him.
Well, the only thing I thought. The only thing I thought was he sent the flowers to her out of guilt at first. I was like, oh, he's so guilty. He's going right for sending her flowers to make up for the guilt.
Gosh, I didn't even think that.
Well, that's what I thought. But now I don't believe that. But then once they were all lovey-dovey, I was like, all right, well, people could be bored of that.
Who's going to be bored of that?
Well, I think people, they're like, all right, they're fine. Next.
They're not fine. They're calling Ryan's roses. They're not fine.
So, what? Well, no, they're not fine because she even... Yeah, that's true. If it was so good, why would she even question it? Like
she'd go to him and be like,
"Who's this crazy person?"
Yeah, how people deal with things. Some people deal with things different ways.
No, I think Tanya actually took the nail and the hammer.
Wow.
And put it together on the head.
I'm gonna save this tape.
And so you're right because if they were so as they sounded, but he was almost. I think I was out of guilt. I'm saying I'm getting you on
so
your own
you
flowers.
Actually think this man is cheating and he made up that whole story?
I don't think that, but I think the relationship isn't as good as it just sounded there. Now, if you've ever suspected your spouse of cheating, listen to this. We just did a Ryan's Roses, and it's interesting to hear what people heard, like on their radars, as to why they think he is cheating. When we think, well, maybe he's not cheating yet, but something's up. Now, here's the other thing. And here's the broader question for me. If you've missed it, this is the bigger question. Because the situation, we think, was that he told his friend who was engaged that his soon-to-be wife was cheating on him. So he knew that his friend's soon-to-be wife was cheating, and he shared that information.
Yeah.
And as a revenge plot, she found out that he was the room monitor, and she went to his wife and said, hey, he's cheating. So the question is, when you know that someone close to you is being cheated on, what do you do with that information?
Ooh.
What do you do with that information? Because it can be very helpful or it can be very hurtful. Yeah. It's kind of like when you know a couple and then they get divorced or they break up, and then you say, I always didn't think that they were for you. Mm-hmm. And then they say, well, why didn't you tell me that earlier? You know?
Yeah, you never want to do that because eventually they'll get back together and then you feel awkward.
Well, not only that, you just don't know. Like, you only get to see a sliver of what people are really like, right? You don't know what it's like to walk in their shoes.
Yeah.
So the question is, what do you do with that information? I like to take an anonymous call immediately because that must mean there's something juicy if you're anonymous in North Hills. So anonymous, go ahead. You're on with us.
Hi, how are you?
We're good. This happened to you.
Yeah, pretty much. So what happened was, it happened to me basically like a couple of years ago. I was actually about 4 months pregnant, and I received a random phone call. I just literally left my doctor's appointment, and I got a random phone call from this girl. She told me, your fiancé, he cheated on you, and basically described everything about his room. Oh, he had a Katy Perry poster on his wall and said, oh, his room looks like this and that. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's exactly how his room looked like. And I believed the whole thing. I started crying. Obviously, I was pregnant, emotional, and everything. And then I confronted him, and when I confronted him, he basically started kind of like the same way the guy reacted, like kind of laughed a little bit, like I know exactly what she's doing. Basically said this girl wanted to have a chance with me, to go out with me, and I never gave her a chance. And she even I don't know, made up a story saying that I'm gonna get back at you for this. And she was just like, you're crazy. I'm never gonna give you a chance. So in revenge, she basically did that to me, just because my fiance never gave her the chance. And I believe him because when I went on her Facebook, she seemed a little bit weird, and her pictures and everything, I don't know, it seemed a little bit sketchy. So
I can only imagine your heart dropping when she's laying at the floor plan of his bedroom, though.
Yeah, that must be awful.
That would freak me out. Look, thank you for calling. It's hard to tell. Let's grab Charnay in Inglewood. Charnay, good morning.
Good morning. We need to put on our Sherlock Holmes investigative hat here.
Okay.
There are a couple of context clues that everyone is missing. How did this girl know to find the wife at Ralph? There's a problem with that. I mean, yeah, I shop at Trader Joe's, but you can catch me at, the one in downtown, the one in Westchester. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how did she know that this woman was going to be at Ralph?
Like, we remember because the wife was confronted by the other woman saying your husband's cheating in the parking lot of Ralph's.
So you're saying she was following her, or she knows her routine?
Something is up there. Now, I believe that the reason he was able to identify her and, say, oh, I think she's the one he's cheating with, which is why he's so certain that his friend's marriage should have broken up or engagement, because he's the one she's cheating with. And now it's to the point where this blonde with the glasses is like, look, your man is cheating, and it's with me, basically. That's all I think was left out of that conversation.
So, Sherlock, just so I'm clear here, we think that the woman who approached the wife in the Ralph's parking lot was the woman that the husband was cheating on with?
Bingo.
So he was sleeping with both women in the parking lot?
Technically,
is that an easier way to say it?
Not at that moment, but yes.
Yes.
Yes, I think that, yes.
You do make a good point. How was she just was she following her at the grocery store? I was just there at the grocery store parking lot at the right time.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, and if this incident with the breakup of the engagement was so long ago, why now? Why? Because the wife is, oh, yeah, I remember that. No, this is something current.
Oh,
it's not.
That's the big kicker right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, you guys are spot on a lot of times. It's a little iffy at other times. But
equally not as much
with
sometimes.
With roses, I said, listen, I have to call in because Ryan felt some skepticism, but he didn't get there. So.
Well, I did feel something's wrong. I did not think he was cheating, but I hear what you're saying. What do you do? I'm just curious. What is your occupation?
I'm a clothing designer.
That's what I thought. All right. Well done. Thanks for calling.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. I mean, she's really giving context clues.
Oh, yeah.
We are just talking about what you do. This kind of came from the Ryan's Roses, but the broad stroke is that what do you do when you know that someone close to you, a sibling or a good friend, is being cheated on? What do you do with that information when you know that by sharing it could really turn things upside down.
Right.
Danielle in Inglewood, so your best friend's boyfriend cheated, right?
Yes. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, good morning.
Hiya.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi, yes.
Hi.
I'm sorry. Yes, he
Okay.
did.
So what? Tell me. So your best friend. I gotta follow. This is like I gotta follow this with a pen. So your best friend's boyfriend, okay, cheated and got another girl pregnant.
Oh.
Yes.
And you found out. You knew that she was being cheated on.
Yes, I knew it, and I felt so bad when I found out. I felt horrible. I didn't know what to do. I even asked my parents, what do I do? They told me to stay out of it.
It's the easy way out and to cause no trouble. But you didn't listen to your parents, did you?
No, I didn't.
So what'd you do?
What she told him, and what happened when you shared the news?
When I shared the news, she did not believe me. She got her boyfriend on the phone. He was denying everything. And I felt so bad, but I was like, I felt like I did the best thing that I should do because it was my friend. I just followed my heart. And we weren't friends for a while. But eventually we started talking again, and it all came out that it really was true and that he did get the girl pregnant.
Oof, wow.
So she found out the truth.
Listen,
and they ended up breaking up.
You are a good, proactive friend.
Yeah.
There are other
Thank you.
friends that are just like not my problem kind of friends, and they just stay out of it.
Well, how could you go day after day after day knowing this information, though, and then hanging out with your friend?
Yeah.
I feel like no matter what, you'd have to say something.
Exactly. The only other thing I could think, as an adult now, because I was really young when this happened, was maybe, I don't know, you give an anonymous note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, listen, I think in your case you did the right thing. And Danielle, I'm so glad you called with enthusiasm this morning. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Love you
There
guys.
she is.
Bye.
Now, quickly, Daniela is on the line in LA, and she's a psychotherapist and dating expert. And you say, Daniela, that cheating is not necessarily a deal breaker, right?
Hi, Ryan. Yes, I'm so glad to be on here. I really appreciated what Danielle said. It sounds like her best friend, this is before they even got married, before they had kids. But once you're married and you have kids, cheating is not necessarily, it's the symptom of a greater problem. And both individuals have a chance to make their relationship even deeper if they can rise above their egos. It does not have to be all or nothing.
It's a very logical statement that you make, because I do think you can be right if the individuals can handle themselves and their emotions. And I think that is where I would have a very profound struggle.
Yeah.
Many people do. Many people do, and it's not like it's going to happen overnight, that all of a sudden you're going to say, I forgive you, and let's go back at it. But it does, it opens up bigger wounds.
But you say it's a symptom of loneliness, or a symptom of not connecting, or what other things are happening?
When someone cheats on someone else, they're not thinking about the other person. They're not thinking like, oh, I'm going to cheat and hurt them. They're trying to fill a need. Maybe they don't feel appreciated. Maybe they're trying to be one up. Who knows? And I'm not saying this at all justifies that. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that people are human, and they sometimes act before thinking, and it can often be impulsive and not even have any emotional meaning. Mm-hmm. And people need to consider that.
Heavy.
I really think if anyone's going through this in this moment, that maybe like karma is the reason you're hearing Daniela right now, because maybe you shouldn't give up. Maybe you should. Maybe you're hearing this call on this day because you're going through it, because you shouldn't give up when you're struggling with making that decision right now in your life. Like if there's one person right now in Southern California going through this, and you hear this call, maybe it sinks in.
Yeah,
maybe you can work it out. All right. Well, this is expert advice, by the way. Danielle is a pro. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to add to that. I was given the honor as LA's premier divorcee success coach. So I actually work a lot with couples who've ended it because of cheating, and they are regretting it, because divorce, every 9 seconds, there's someone divorcing, and sometimes marriages can be saved if you're willing to listen to each other.
What is the divorce rate 50% or higher?
Well, I mean, they're saying it's higher. Millennials are not getting married anymore. they don't really have some great examples around them.
Told you guys I was a millennial over here.
Told you
guys I was a millennial.
Cusp.
Cusp millennial.
Yeah, marriage is not what it used to be. We need to redefine marriage as long-term partnership and what that entails. Because marriage, as we've known it, is not really working out for a lot of people today. And if we can talk about what makes a long-term relationship and focus on that, not necessarily the marriage, then I think we will have better success.
Interesting.
I agree.
Great.
I like that.
Great conversation. Daniela, thanks for calling.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Happy to come back anytime.
Okay, don't eat any avocados. We need you.
Okay.
There's a recall. We were talking to Daniela a few minutes ago, psychotherapist, dating expert.
Mm-hmm.
Who says that we should not give up when we're cheated on because it's a symptom of a deeper issue that could be resolved. And that when someone cheats, they're not trying to hurt somebody, they're just missing something. There's a void. And I said, well, maybe in this moment, Daniela, with you calling with that kind of guidance and advice, maybe in this moment, there's somebody listening right now going through this and serendipitously or through karma, they're hearing you say that today, which means they shouldn't give up when they thought maybe they were about to give up. And then D called in Los Angeles, and you're currently trying to decide if you want to forgive your husband for cheating, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Like, it happened a while ago in October. We had just took the kids to the pumpkin patch, and I, posted a picture. So, long story short, over a year ago, after we had our second kid, he asked me for a divorce. I tried to kind of work things out. He said he didn't want to work it out, and I was a stay-at-home mom. So I went and I got a job. I got a car. I was doing really good. And then August, he's like, hey, I want my family back. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's work on it. October, this girl messages me on Instagram, and she says my husband's full name, and she's just like, he's a liar. And I'm like, can you elaborate? Because all people lie. That doesn't make any sense. And she sends me pictures of them two together in matching sweatshirts, and she starts calling my kids names, but not their full names. They're nicknames, only names that we call them.
Oh.
And she's like, yeah, you remember those outfits? And she described the outfits. She's like, yeah, I bought those. He came home with those outfits and said he bought it for the kids. Easter baskets, I'm sorry, a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like, okay, did you guys sleep together? And she's like, well, what do you think? And I'm like, well, that doesn't really tell me anything. And she's like, just going on and on and on. I asked him about it, and he says that it's some girl that I guess from some guy he used to be friends with, I guess his baby mama, and supposedly she's his best friend. And I'm like, dude, we've been together for how long, and we're married? I've never known about this girl. She didn't come to our wedding. Who is this person that's supposed to be your best friend? Because you know all of my friends, and I thought I knew all of your friends. And, she kept, bringing up stuff, different arguments we had. She knew where I worked, the city that I worked in, all kinds of stuff. And he just kept saying, no, we didn't do anything. You sure? Because it sure does seem like we did.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're in, March? And we're still having issues because I'm trying to figure out, do I stay for my kids? Do I stay for myself? Or do I just leave it alone? And listening to her, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just try.
Wow.
I don't know.
I think look, I always think that everything happens for a reason, cliche, I know, but you're going through that and you heard her say that, and maybe you should take a moment, because what she was trying to say was, let's say your husband is cheating, but he's not trying to do it to hurt you. He's doing it for some other reason, and trying to figure out what that reason is may be more beneficial than emotionally reacting to something else, because you do have kids, right? So,
right.
You still haven't determined whether or not for sure he's not admitted to cheating yet?
No, he says that he did it. And I a small part of me, I really do believe him, because she wouldn't even answer. And I just feel like if I hit up another female and I'm like, hey, I slept with your husband, I'm going to give receipts. I will let you know everything. She wouldn't even allow me to, even call her on the phone while he was there. He wouldn't even call her. So I'm not exactly sure. I would say that I'm sure that he spent a lot of time with her, but I cannot
like honestly tell you like, yes, right, I think they slept together.
Why don't you take the advice Daniela gave and in your own way use it for the moment to say to your husband, this is not going to break us, but I want to get to the root of what's going on. And if it happened or it didn't happen, let's talk about it. And if it did or didn't, let's talk about why. But I'm not going to let it break us. Because maybe that's a way to try and take a step in the direction of keeping it together.
I think that's a good idea. Because I honestly thought about doing the Ryan's Roses, but he listens to it with me in the morning. So I'm like, that's not going to work. He's not going to fall for that.
All right. Well, I think you should not let it break yet and see if you can get, really to the root of what's going on.
Exactly.
Dee, I'm glad you called.
I think that's what I need. I need that. So that's the only way I'm going to be able to get over it.
All right. Well, keep us posted, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I mean, the woman does know a lot, but maybe there's nothing going on. But I also think that Daniela was on the air while Dee was going through this for Dee to not give up yet.
It is interesting.
To be in that situation. So it just
you got to just sit down. It's all about communication. It's all about like you said.
No, you say that. You say that. It's so impossible. Sometimes.
Like what you just said, getting down to the root of it. Like there's something deeper than why people cheat. It's like, what is it in your relationship that's lacking?
And it's so hard to be mature enough to do that.
Yeah.
And not just react
Absolutely.
emotionally.